There aren't many vehicles on the planet where you could see me in the frame in this angle standing here. But I can do this with very little effort because this is the new 9th generation Toyota Hilux, a vehicle that is known for its reliability, bulletproof reliability rather, and its go anywhere capability. That's exactly what we are finding out. What are the changes? What's good? What could have been better? That's exactly what we'll tell you over the next few minutes. Now, starting off with the design of the new Hilux, you can see it has become a lot more sharper than the older version. So you'll see these sleek LED DRL equipped headlamps, the honeycomb pattern here on the grille. The bumpers are completely different. The idea is to mimic a sumo wrestler in sort of a pose that I can't get into. But yeah, I mean, it does look solid in terms of design. Although sleeker, sharper, it retains that masculine factor that you've always wanted with the Hilux. The old one looked much more brute and upright, but this one still looks nice. On the side, you've got new alloy wheels. Again, lot of clearance. You can see this gives it that off-road character, footboards, and then at the back, the tech, new tail lamps. So not a radical change. Most of the change is up front, and I think it's good in terms of design. And once you get inside the cabin of the new Hilux, the cabin too has changed. The dashboard is new. The material quality used here is more premium than the older version. The biggest change, of course, is the inclusion of this new 12.3-inch touchscreen, which gives the cabin a more modern and premium look. In terms of usability, it's a good screen, gives you access to Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Touch response is fluid. You also get a new digital instrument cluster. So that, along with this new multifunctional steering wheel and a new center console, gives the car a much more premium look. Yes, the air conditioning controls are now in form of rotary knobs instead of the older one which had digital and the buttons combination. But I think for a vehicle like Hilux, it still works. And the seats, the front seats, they are manually adjustable, no electrical adjustment for the driver's seat also, but it is adjustable both in terms of height and reach. The steering also can be adjusted both in terms of telescopic and tilt angles. The space hasn't changed inside the Hilux, so it remains the same. You get good, nice, wide seats. Even at the back, there is good space. And of course, one can't forget the open deck. So that continues. You can, of course, get a lot of accessories to cover it, get a different design for it. So all of that customization options continue with the new Hilux. But yes, in a nutshell, like on the outside, it looks more refined and premium. Even on the inside, it feels much more premium. Alright, so one of the other reasons, in addition to utility of the Hilux, the other reason why people buy Hilux is for its go anywhere capability, and that comes partly from the engine and then from the 4x4 system. The engine is a 2.8 liter turbo diesel developing 201 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque. And 500 Newton meters of torque, well, that's the most important number because Hilux is not about going fast. It's about that torque being able to pull you out of tricky situations. That's what you need more than the horsepower. So it has plenty of that. And while you can get it in the 4x4 version, which we are driving right now, with the new Hilux, there's also a 4x2 version, which I think is a great marketing move because a lot of people in the urban areas buy the Hilux for its image, the kind of social lifestyle image the vehicle enjoys. And most of them never end up taking the vehicle to off-road conditions. So for them, buying the Hilux becomes more affordable than ever. And yeah, I mean, you enjoy everything that the Hilux has to offer, minus the 4x4 capabilities. And for all those off-roading enthusiasts, well, the 4x4 is still there, and you get on the fly, you can switch from 2 high to 4 high, and you can also switch to 4 low for those tricky conditions. There's also a diff lock, so you can go hardcore off-roading with the new Hilux, just like you did with the old one. the capabilities remain unchanged, which is a great thing. And when you go off-roading, there is one new tech that has been added to the cabin. That's the 360-degree camera that gives you a nice view of where you're going, which direction to head in. So that is a pretty pretty handy tool when you're going off-road. In addition to, of course, when you're parking it, because it's a large vehicle. That said, I would have wanted, for the money, I would have wanted better resolution from the camera. The camera clarity could have been better, significantly better. That's what it should have been. I think this is something that Toyota needs to address. That camera quality, the display, the resolution, that is something that leaves a lot to be desired. It is usable still, but yeah, if I'm going really hardcore off-roading, I think instincts would be better to depend on than the camera alone. And in terms of on-road driving, well, you don't buy the Hilux for moving your family or for going, in comfort. But if you're going to move on road, it is relatively comfortable to drive. It's not hard to drive at all. With the new version, with this new screen and new features, it has just become more premium to drive. It just feels a bit more plush. There is a lot of space inside the cabin, so you can, seat 5 people in decent comfort. So you can take those long trips with the Hilux. There is plenty of room for, hauling a lot of luggage. So that way, it is a decent vehicle to drive. Of course, there is the bouncy ride quality, especially at the back. But once you load it up with something, you don't really need to put in cement bags there. But once you have some stuff, maybe about 80 to 100 kilos, then the rear suspension becomes a lot more pliant and it stops bouncing around. Put all of these things together, what you have is basically a very capable vehicle. Capabilities remain unchanged. It just feels a bit more polished and refined to drive. And now to answer the biggest question, should you buy the new Hilux or not? Well, the simple answer to that is why not? Because there is nothing else like the Hilux on sale. Yes, there is the Isuzu as well in terms of options in the market, but I think the Hilux is a far more evolved and a refined product. And with this new update, it just looks better. It feels more premium with the new features. The cabin experience is even better. 4x4 capabilities remain unchanged, which is great news. Most importantly, with the 4x2 version, affordability increases. So I think the new Hilux will just end up doing better in terms of sales than the outgoing model. So overall, I think the new Hilux will end up doing better sales numbers than the outgoing model. Let us know, what do you think about this new Hilux, and would you prefer this one or the older one? Let us know in the comment section.